the cost to entry to be a marketer is super low. I think like COVID really blew up marketing field, and we're starting to come down from that, thank God, because anyone could just sit at home, sit in front of a computer like I'm doing right now and say they're a marketing agency. Um, one of the big problems I also see just when it comes to actual agencies themselves. So I'm going to bitch about agencies here for a second. Is the guys or the gals that say they own a marketing agency, and there's some here in St. Louis, and they're everywhere, but really it's just them selling you, and then they outsource all of that work, absolutely everything, besides maybe their ideas that they jot down on a Word doc and send it over, and they're not even here, they're not local, they're probably not even in the United States, and then you know the clients wonder why their service or their work isn't as good as probably it should be. And I hate just those type of agency owners make me upset because they act like they have a company, right? Which they do in theory, right? You know what? So
Yeah.
it's like, but really you're not. You're just you could charge maybe a little bit less because you're just outsourcing that over to the Philippines or to Guatemala or wherever it
Yeah.
is, which is fine, I guess, if you could make it work. But I, marketing is like, it seems like even marketing agencies, they always try and put out bigger than they are. And one thing I try and do is act how small we are. I know. But everyone's here in St. Louis. You want to meet them? Great. They're here. They can get on a video call. They can speak English. And not only that, a lot of them either need your service, have used your products, etc. So it's like, they're not in some other country that they don't even know what this is, right? They're like, what even is a shingle roof? We don't even have those here. So, that one thing it's very odd phenomenon. You really don't see it in a lot of other business types.
Yeah. I think to a degree you could draw a parallel into other business types, but we don't need to go down that road at this second. What I would say is, again, if you're trying to vet out an agency, one of the things you want to look for is how long have they been established?
Yeah.
Because like you said, COVID, they came and now they're gone because they
Yep.
got tired or ran out of government money. So now they can't afford it and they got to go get a real job.
Yep.
Well, that's why, when I tell people my background, my story, 2009, I started my first company. Now I'm up to three and I still own all three of them. So there's a big deal of, I have clients that have been with me since 2011.
That's awesome.
2011. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
when people go, well, let me talk to referral, I'm like, yeah, do you want to talk to someone started with me in 2011? Like, and they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I have those people that have been with me that long. So I think that that's one thing. It's just like a remodeler. If you go to someone that's been in business for 3 years, I'm not going to hire them. Like there's certain parameters of a home remodeler that I'm like, I want certain level of, satisfaction and longevity of the company. I do a lot of, we keep talking about remodeling, just I guess because I have it on the brain today, but I also pull one thing and I create marketing PR documents for clients that are in the remodeling world. One of the things that we put out there is how long they've been in business and if they've ever had another DBA in the same industry or not. And that's
Yep.
part of it, right? Because it's not like, oh, well, we got sued, so we shut that company down and we started another company. You know what I mean? Like these are the things. I love the statement that I created. It says, you don't know what you don't know until you find out that now you know what you should have known. And shame on you for not knowing and not even knowing to ask. Right. So, as
Yes.
stupid as this sounds, I love this story and I tell the truth about it. When I bought my first home in 2011, my wife was pregnant with our first child. We have three now. And when that child was born, we bought our house and I had no idea that I had to go to a special office to file for homestead. In Texas, you have to do that. My real estate agent didn't tell me. The mortgage broker didn't tell me. All these other people, my mom, my dad, no one told me this. How am I supposed to know? Right? Like I'm still considered a dumb kid, first time parent. What's going on? Head on a swivel, trying to figure it out, run a company, have a kid, da 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 da. No one told me. So how am I supposed to know? Right? You go to the doctor and the doctor goes, well, check this, check this, check this. Here's all the boxes. But why is that not happening in real estate world? And people go, well, that's dumb that you didn't know that. And I'm like, okay, I got off a call with a company today that's doing $200 million in their top line, and they don't have Google Analytics set up on their website.
Oh my God. Really?
So
That's
when
insane.
someone's,
Yeah.
you see what I mean? Like there's things that you don't know what you don't know until you find out that now you know what you should have known.
I hope they have never had a marketing company or a marketing person at their company, because that is like I don't know. When it comes to marketing, I'm like, if you spend money before you have the stuff able to track and analyze how you're spending it, don't spend it. Or like attributions are messed up. I've had countless conversations in the last week of people not, yeah, I'm spending money on ads, I'm spending money on SEO, and I'm getting these leads, but I don't know where they're coming from. And I'm like, it's not that hard to set this stuff up. It's really not.
I mean, a legit company built their website and even linked the company's website to their ad agency, but yet GA4 doesn't exist. Not even the old code where like maybe it got missed and not passed off, and it's just non-existent. It was never there, never put there or anything.
So, let me guess, that was a web design company, and that's all they do, because they're infamous. PSA to anyone building a website: if you're just hiring someone that knows, and this is my hot take for today, if your web design company is not familiar and no SEO, and if your website does not, if you don't know pages, if you're not building the pyramid, if you will, off of the homepage and know what pages you need for SEO, don't work with a web design company that doesn't know SEO. I'd almost say go to an SEO company to design a website, because the design it doesn't matter if you have a great, I think design is overrated for a lot of small businesses. People are just trying to find the information, and if there's good information, they're going to get a hold of you. You don't need to be artsy fartsy unless like, your business type is dependent on that. We work with a lot of home service companies. It's like, you don't need all this fluff and bullshit. Just literally whatever they're looking for, just give them exactly what they're looking for. That's it. And then have some additional relevant information.
Yeah.
That's what
I think there's a level to it that goes a little bit deeper. I'm with you, and you're probably going to be agreeing with what I'm about to say, but there's a level of the depth that you take to answer their questions, identify their hot buttons. I think it was Jay Abraham that said marketing can be real simple. Figure out what they're thinking and say that back to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Within that, what I look at is, if you landed on my website, plug jrcmo.com, when you land on my website, you see that there's like 4 or 5 boxes that basically highlight what most business owners are looking for. Mm-hmm. So they go and they read these 4 or 5 boxes and they go, okay, what do I want? And most of my traffic doesn't go any further. They go to one of those boxes and then they go to that page. My average user stays on my site for almost 6 minutes, which, doing that on average in as many platforms as I use to advertise, that's a lot, but I have a ton of free information, but I hit their hot buttons and I know what they're looking for because I've identified the avatar of who I want to talk to. And therefore I'm meeting them what they're looking for. They can see that I have the answer to the problem rather than on my hero image going home remodeling company. Yeah, no crap. That's what I typed into Google, and that's why I landed on your page. That doesn't solve my problem.
Yeah.
And that's where, again, marketing just real simple gets failed. So,
well, I mean, it's that simple when it comes to Google Ads, right? If someone's looking for best roofing company in whatever city, have the ad be best roofing company. You can even have it dynamic text. Have it whatever they search for. Literally have an ad directly tailored to that. If they looked up best metal roofing company, or they looked up best kitchen remodeler near me, literally essentially have the ad as like best or top rated or something very similar to what they search for. Because we see ads not relevant.
But you got to take that a level deeper, right? Because what you said is not wrong. That's part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2 needs to be the emphasis of what I'm going to add to your part 1, which is you have to build not just what they're thinking, but what they should know. Mm-hmm. Remember, I just said, I don't know what I didn't know until now I find out that I should have known, and shame on me for not knowing. So best roofing company, yes, say that, but then give the supporting evidence of why you are, right? more than 20 years experience, zero BBB complaints, never changed my DBA, never changed my roofing license.
Exactly.
That's a whole lot different than just saying, yes, we are the best roofing company. When you start adding in these other credibility, it's kind of like if you don't want to fall out of your chair, how many legs do you want to that chair?
Mm-hmm.
Most chairs, on average, we're just going to say you have your tri, right? You have your 3 little legs, kind of wobbly. Sit on 4, a lot more stable. What happens if I add a 5th? What if I add 8? Now it becomes evidence, and people are looking for evidence without cognitive reading and thinking. They're not going to your site thinking, I need evidence, not in their forward lobe. They're thinking in the back, they're going, I need to hire a roofing company. I type it in and I look, what makes me feel better about this one versus this one? But if you come in and immediately above the fold start building the evidence that no one's ever thought about, that's part of your narrative.
Yep.
That's part of if you're a legit company. Now, if you're not a legit company, don't listen to this podcast, or at least don't listen to me, because I'm not going to be helpful to you, right? I'm not going to, for me, I have
no
that ethical
fake
line.
business here. Yeah.
But you get the idea, right? It's like people don't think about that narrative. This goes to psychology, which I don't know that you want to go down this road today, but now we talk about the reticular activator and how we're searching. Kind of unfunny, true story. I was driving home from a meeting. I was supposed to go pick up my 7-year-old daughter from elementary school. I literally pulled into the driveway and realized, oh crap, I forgot to pick up my daughter. I took off and I go to the school and I pick her up, and I didn't tell anybody. So hopefully my wife doesn't watch this episode.
Bleep that out.
But I mean, that's alpha mode, beta mode. Right? I was so focused on beta mode of I got to get home. I've got to do this. I've got to do this. I'm busy, that I totally forgot a priority in my alpha mode of wait, stop, go do this, right? Same way if the wife goes, hey, will you stop and pick up milk on the way home because the kids want cereal in the morning? Same thing, right? You get home and then she goes, did you get the milk? And you're like, oh no, I forgot. So that happens, and you translate that back over to business, and it does translate to business. Because human buying behavior is the same no matter what you buy or what you sell. Human buying behavior is exactly the same. We all make decisions based on certain criteria: advantages of ownership, objections, and vendor selection. That doesn't change no matter what you offer or sell. Stick a gum to Ferrari, car, Porsche, whatever you like to drive. It happens the same way.